very good morning to you. Welcome to Spielberg, the Red Bull Ring. It is the final showdown for the BMW M2 Cup for 2023. 2 races to sort who will be champion, who will be rookie champion, who is going to get to the very top step. It's critically important. And remember, in the BMW M2 Cup, of course, you can't hide. Drivers are making their way to the grid right now. What an exciting event it's going to be. And down on the grid is Verena.
And we're so thrilled. Are you ready for the final countdown? We certainly are. And fact is, it's all about transparencies and opportunities here at the BMW M2 Cup. And it's all about 3 guys who are fighting for the championship. Check it out.
Who's going to win the championship?
Me for sure. I'm going to do everything I can to put as much pressure on Leighton as possible, give myself the best opportunity to win.
Who is going to win the championship?
I hope I.
And who is going to win the championship?
Me, of course. I hope so. I hope so.
Okay, good luck.
Thank you, mate.
So the concept of the BMW M2 Cup is really, really exciting. And I have 2 people here I'm going to interview, because one of these ladies here is Esme Kosterman, and she's a candidate for the BMW M2 Cup and for next year. So Esme, you got a big smile in your face. What would you say, what makes this concept so exciting? Why would you want to be a driver in this cup?
Because I'm here now and see how Buddy improve himself on and off the track, so I want to be there too. And it's a lovely car to drive, and yeah, a lot of experience to learn, and yeah, this so excited.
Absolutely, I can totally see that excitement in your face. And somebody's also very excited is Ali McAfee, because your son Robbie is also taking part in this cup. And exactly what Esme just said, this whole excitement, improvement, that's something you can confirm.
Absolutely, he's improved so much over the season, both on and off the track. I think this M2 Cup with Project One is about developing the drivers completely, not skills off the track as well. So it's great. And for me, coming from Australia, it's
Perth, Australia.
Perth in Australia, West Australia, is so exciting to be here, and I can't believe it. So so it's great. It's really good.
Well, we're excited you're here all the way from Australia and supporting your son, of course, and we're hoping to see you next year in this cup. And also just being in the middle of it, everybody arriving here, does that make your pulse go fast?
Yeah, and my heart go fast, and everybody, because in the Netherlands I drove the Ford Fiesta, this is so different car to drive, very fast, and yeah.
All right, well, hopefully we'll see you next year. Thank you so much, Ali. Thank you so much, Esme. And now let's check out Bart Horsten, who's one of the 3 guys fighting in the championship. And he's starting in P4. So, Bart, it's all about the championship this weekend. You're starting in P4. So what are you going to make out of it, and how excited are you?
I'm really excited, to be honest. We've been here before, like at Nürburgring, on wet tyres at the start of a race, and the track looks pretty dry. So it'll be interesting to see what happens. Chance of rain during the race, so just looking forward to whatever we get thrown at us.
But also looking at the championship, I mean, it's exciting.
Yeah, of course. It's good to be still fighting into the last round. It's something I've never achieved before, so it's a big positive on my end. More than anything, though, I know that I need to move forward today and score as many points as possible, so we'll see what happens.
Right, Bart. Well, best of luck. Thank you so much. And we're going to move on, because now we have in P3, we've got Luca Link. And that's going to be exciting to find out how he's doing. I mean, obviously, they're all thrilled to get started in the race. Hello there, Luca. How are you doing? I see a smile underneath the helmet.
Yeah, I'm doing quite good. Super happy to be here. After all the ups and downs in the season, finally could show what I got. But I also know that I got some pretty fast boys behind me. So, but I'm super happy to be here. And I just hope for a good racing.
And I was just going to say, you're starting in P3, so that's a great effort from your side to see you all the way to P3. So hopefully see you on the podium.
Yeah, hopefully, but it's still a long race, but I hope for the best, yeah.
All right, well, best of luck, and we're going to try to grab Senna van Zeulen. He's on P2, so let's just see if we still have him before they kick us out, that's for sure. So starting from P2, Senna, how optimistic are you to be ending up on the podium, maybe even a win?
Yeah, I'm very happy with my result in the quali, P2, best of the season. Yeah, and we will see what we are going to do this race. We are starting on wet tires, so that's very interesting on an half dry track, half wet track. So we will see what I will go.
All right, well, best of luck for the rest. Thank you so much, Senna. And that's it from our part, so we need to get out of here. So now enjoy the race. It's the final countdown. It's the final 2 races, so let's do it. Let's go racing.
As always, thank you so much, Verena, bringing us all the anticipation and excitement down there on the grid. Alongside me, Chris Hartley, who has been such a huge part of the BMW M2 Cup this season. I know you've been really, really impressed with some of the young talents that we've seen here. And isn't it always great in any motor racing championship? And the BMW M2 Cup is one of those, but of course it's all young talents who are developing their skills to see it come down to the final countdown. You know, it is, when the championship will be decided this weekend. It's got to be decided this weekend. You know, we see so many times when championships are decided with 1 or 2 events still to go, and it kind of takes the sting out of it.
Yeah, right down to the wire. It's the first time the Red Bull Ring has hosted the season finale. And you're absolutely right about these talented young drivers. The average age on the grid this year has been 18, which is, the youngest, even in a championship which is renowned for building up young talent. It's the youngest field that we've had since the championship began. And, Project One set up this pyramid where they're looking to develop these drivers and take them up through GT4 racing, eventually up to GT3. They get a lot of behind-the-scenes guidance as well in terms of, they'll be in the Project One garage and the DTM races. They get to go in race control, understand how all of that works. They get great management in terms of their media training, and also lots of physical fitness tests that go on. They have courses on nutrition. So it's all about an all-rounded development for the drivers.
Yes, and the grid in full that you can see. Leighton Fury then going from pole position. Luca Link, who we heard from on the grid, and Bart Horston with work to do from P4. Berninghausen going from P5, then as Julius Dennison going from P6. Denny Burnt and Jan Matjas at P7 and P8. They complete row 4 of our 8-row grid. And I know Chris is looking very hard because there was one car missing on the
Leighton Fury
on the grid.
Yeah.
Max Rosum, and alongside Max Rosum is Robert Heffler, Luis Carla going from P11 and to P12, and there is the Senna van Zeulen car.
Senna van Zeulen he kind of ground to a halt. Leighton Fury out there on his own, wasn't he, as he came through to turn 4 on the formation lap, because everybody that was around Senna had to sort of hit the brakes, but he's fired it back up. He's got it going again. What a frustration for him, because that's, as he said, his best qualifying of the year so far.
Now, the thing is, we have been told by race control we're going to do 2 formation laps. Now, the rules are such, Chris, that presumably he now can reoccupy his original position, or has he got to start from the back now? Because he had stopped during a formation lap.
Yeah, and they've all gone past him, I think, is the issue. So
he will be to the back.
If he'd not gone to the back, I think he will have to go to the back. We'll see if that is the case, but that could be interesting watching him come through. But yeah, as I say, when they came through to turn 4, it was like just Leighton Fury on his own, whereas everybody else gone, and they all hit the brakes, and there was luckily no problems. But I noticed as well, Max Rosam, who's still got a slim chance of the championship, he swapped cars. He was in one of the yellow cars yesterday. They all switch cars each race weekend. They get nominated a car, that's the car they drive, and he had the yellow car yesterday, one of the yellow cars, but he had his worst qualifying of the season so far, just what he didn't need when he's going for the championship. 9th on the grid, but he's in a white car today. They got this extra formation lap. Leighton Fury got pole position yesterday. In fact, he's got pole for tomorrow as well, 2nd fastest lap time. So he got 3 points yesterday.
Critical points.
Yeah, 20 points clear now. There's only 21 points available at the end of this race. 20 points for a win tomorrow, a point for fastest lap. So the maths are fairly straightforward for this. If Bart Horston finishes behind Leighton Fury in the race, then Leighton Fury is champion, because by definition he'll score at least 1 more point wherever they finish than his championship rival, and he's got more race wins as well. So even if they're tied on points tomorrow, Leighton Fury would be champion.
Thank you for that. So extra formation lap, and now, to the best of our knowledge and hearing from Bart Horston with Verena down there on the grid, all the cars are on wet weather tyres. Now, as we were watching the bit of the formation lap that we saw, because of course all our eyes were on this number 24 car of Senna van Solen, who was stricken. There is very much a dry line there, Chris. Now, you and I both know, having been involved in motor racing for 150 years this year, that wet weather tyres work really, really well when it's wet. And when it's not wet, all of a sudden, they become a little bit more difficult to manage to get the best out of. It's going to be really tricky for them.
Yeah, it has actually rained for about an hour and a half, something like that, 2 hours. So it is, it's damp in patches, but there's a big dry line. And look at the start-finish straight outside the commentary box, and half of it towards the pit wall is damp. The other half is completely dry. So in the dry conditions, they'll tend to overheat a little bit, and that will be tricky for them. So, yeah, they've got to manage the tyres. It's a slightly shorter race because we've had some delays in the preceding qualifying session. So 27 minutes plus 1 lap. That's still a long time to make wet Goodyear tyres withstand what's probably going to be a dry track by the end of it. Yes, I would agree completely with that. Well, let's see how we do. We're just about to reach the conclusion of the second of the formation lap. So basically, as Chris has identified, Leighton Furry, if he can win this race, well, it's pretty much sealed and dealed. We will see, though, because there are 27 minutes of race action to come from the BMW M2 Cups. They'll line up in their grid positions, of course, in their boxes, and you can see there they're furiously working around the car, which should be starting P2 on the grid. Brilliant qualifying from Senna, and unfortunately, whatever the issue is down there, you can see that this is true of motor racing nowadays. You know, it tends to be, rather than 19mm spanners and hammers, it's laptops, isn't it? It's data, USBs.
Chris.
Yeah, exactly right. So effectively, this puts Luca Link second now. He'd already got his best ever qualifying of the season, or ever, in his first season of the championship. Luca Link qualifying third after qualifying 10th 5 times consecutively. Third on the grid, but only Leighton Fury in front of him now. But good news, Senna van Solen has refied it, and he's going to start from the pit lane.
Okay, so now this is when the butterflies start to go, because we await the lighting gantry. We get the green flag from the marshal at the back of the pack. We'll all be heading into the Niki Lauda turn. It's a steep climb uphill. We have 3 lights, 4 lights, and now we have 5. When they go out, let's go racing. Well, something of a sluggish start, if I'm honest with you, and you can see that Bart Horston was trying to get to the inside line. He's taking a wide look on the outside now, where it's going to be very, very damp, but they make it through turn number 1, and we hope, as a lot of drivers run very wide there, there's a bit of a slingshot opportunity and also the chance to avoid any collision, and they use that wisely. But for Leighton Furry, it was pretty much job done, and a big battle going on for P3 right now as they go side by side. And heavy braking now. You continue to climb through turn number 3, and then you can really set yourself up for a potential overtake move going into turn number 4. So as they run, then, it is Furry that has done the best job possible, Chris.
Yeah, Luca Link in second, side by side for third place, though. Number 55, Colin Berninghausen, trying to get around the outside here into turn 4. Downhill run, you have to be careful. Bart Horston's got the inside line and just about holds on to the position. Denny Burnt, who was the early season championship leader, behind in 5th. And a good start for Max Rozam, which he needed. He's up to 6th place from 9th on the grid.
The big beneficiary here could be Denny Burnt, to be honest, because as these two are squabbling in front of him over the P3 position, Denny Burnt is just waiting to try and take advantage. You can see a slide there from Bart Horston as he tried to hold on to it. I have to say, impressive work from Berninghausen, who has huge courage because he was hanging it around the outside, and he was absolutely committed and determined and made it work, Chris.
Yeah, eventually got through, and all that pressure he put on the Australian paid off in the end, and Denny Burnt has gone through as well, and maybe Max Rozam in the number 5 car. No, not quite. Denny Burnt goes way out wide though, and he gives the place back to Bart Horston. So Horston back to 4th. And also losing a place there to the black car of Jan Mateus was Max Rozam, who also went out wide.
Wow, goodness me. And now there's a fight going on for the P1 position here, Chris. So Leighton Furry, of course, leading the championship going into turn 1 right now, having put the first lap in the book. Tell you what, his P1 position is not quite as steadfast as he would like it to be, as he's being chased all the way through the kink now, which is turn number 2. and then up towards turn number 3, and continues these fights going on behind. As the start is under investigation, we can see cars getting just a little bit skittish under braking here, and 3 abreast is never going to go through there, and big advantage taken there by Denison, who goes through.
Yeah, Denison gets 2 places there, so the ex-Danish Formula 4 driver going through. They were looking at the start, they're happy with it, so no further news or decisions on that one. But yeah, good start this for the Danish driver. 4th place in the Black 95 car. It's still nose to tail for the lead of the race, Leighton Fury. Also today, celebrating his 18th birthday. If he can win the championship, that will be the best present he's ever had.
It? Yeah, so Leighton Fury is currently really having to try and show a clean pair of heels to link behind, and he's not getting away at all. So fair play here. Quite a fight going on for P1, 2 and 3 now, as Bunighausen is trying to buy into this party. As diving up the inside there is Max Rosam, as you say. He's looking very lively in this race.
Yeah, he needs to, because he's not only got to beat Leighton Fury, he's got to beat him by quite a margin. He's 29.5 points behind at the moment. He's got to close that gap to 20 points or less at the end of this race to stay in touch.
That's a big ask, isn't it? Oh,
Luca Link out wide.
Yeah. And that just played into the hands of Bunighausen a bit, didn't it? Didn't need 2 invitations to go through and pick up that inside line and go through to pick up P2. So quite a short lap here, of course, at the Spielberg circuit. Now, you can see drivers taking different lines there. I believe that is to be they're trying to keep those tyres in a temperature that will work, and they're searching out for the damp parts of the track, Chris.
Yeah, I mean, I would say it was 50-50 at the start, whether he went slicks or wets. It's taken a long time to dry out this circuit, though. As I say, it hasn't rained for, well, since the start of the morning, really, and it still hasn't dried out despite a couple of qualifying sessions. So for safety and for the young drivers, they've gone with the wet tyre. Here's a replay of the start, which they were looking at. I'm afraid to say Senna van Sula came back into the pits at the end of the previous lap as well. So really frustrating day for the Dutch driver.
Yeah, that's very unfortunate, having done such a good job in qualifying. There you could see from that replay angle just how far those drivers run wide through turn number 1. And this is also something of a pinch point when you run into turn number 3 here, because you're still climbing uphill when you take that right-hander. And well, you can see several drivers still running very, very wide, Chris, and it's not the way through as we saw that replay. But this then, a little bit of panel rubbing going on there between Bar Horsten and the number 8 car. No harm done, though, as they continue their forward-looking trajectory and getting very, very sideways. There was the Robbie McAfee car, and we heard from Robbie's family on the grid just earlier on.
Yeah, and look at this, Denny Burt now having a side-by-side battle with Robert Heffler, guest driver in the championship. He was 5th in the championship last year. He's in the 53 car. Max Rosam trying to get in the action as well. Car number 5, 3 abreast, Dave.
If this works for Max Rosam, it will be the move of the day, in my opinion. 2 in 1. Come on, Max Rosam. We don't have any favourites, but it was just such a brave move.
Heffler way out wide of the 53 car. He's going to lose 3 places as a result of that.
I think Max has done it, you know. He has. Bits of grass and mud and various other debris are kicked up there as 1 or 2 of the drivers run wide. This is really, really good stuff right at the front of the pack. I mean, there is almost nothing between the top 5 drivers currently.
No, so Leighton Fury leads on for the championship with the day to spare as it stands. Colin Bunighausen 2nd, 3rd is Luca Link, 4th is Julius Denison. Bart Horsten, it's not working out for him, he's in 5th place. A bucking bronco there for Robert Heffler in 9th place.
Yes, rally crossing our us. So great sideways driving from Robert Heffler. It's not exactly the quickest way around, though, and that somewhat plays into the hands of Jan Matjas, who can go through. So nonetheless, very entertaining for us to watch, but as Robbie McAfee now is going to try and take advantage as well, because he's behind those 2.
Yeah, McAfee, like most of the drivers in his first season in this championship, travelling all the way from Australia. We've got Australians, South Africans, lots of Europeans in the series as well. So it's truly an international field, this. Lots of them also compete in the Benelux M2 Cup, and that's been co-led with a couple of rounds to go by Leighton Fury and Senna van Sula. McAfee also competes in that championship. Here then, side-by-side action as an attempted move from Colin Bunighausen on the way into turn 3 to squeeze through, and this was the Max Rosam move, and way out wide there was going Robert Heffler, and he was on the back foot for about 3 corners after that, wasn't he?
Do you know what? This is just about the whole ethos of the M2 Cup is developing young drivers and young talent. And when you see drivers seizing opportunities like they did there, and Yeah, really, really good to see, and just proving that the whole concept is working and working really, really well. Leighton Fury is probably having to do a little bit more defending than he would have thought he would have to, having done such a good job in qualifying. But I think there's a lot of challenges that are facing these drivers in this particular race, and an ever-evolving track surface. And you can see them all diving for the damper part of the track. And now, for the first time of asking, Leighton has begun to build up a bit of a margin, just under 9/10, Chris.
Yeah, Colin Birmingham was ahead of him through. They came briefly. Leighton Fury battling back away, though. Bonninghausen has had one podium this season. He knocked on the door a few times this year before he finally got it a couple of rounds ago at the Lausitz Ring. He had several fourth-place finishes, but he's still looking for his first win. And I can see out of the commentary box window that Claudia Henning has had a bad weekend so far. Worst qualifying for a while for Claudia. It's coming to the pits in the 23 car with a problem.
Max Rosam has been something of an entertainer to watch so far. He's just dived to the inside in turn number 3 as Birminghausen did enough on Leighton Fury, and Dinesen to P3, then it is Bart Horst, and then it is Max Rosam. And you can see here Max Rosam absolutely, utterly, totally determined.
Yeah, so having got the lead with that move that we saw on the replay up at turn 3, Birminghausen has got his head down. He's got nearly 9/10 of a second clear, and as I say, he's looking, having got his first podium recently, for his first win in the championship. But Leighton Fury maybe is thinking, I don't need to win the race, I just want to wrap up the championship. Dinesen in third place, having a real battle here with Bart Horst, and Bart Horst then has to watch his tail because Denny Berndt in the yellow number 8 car gets alongside him.
Yes, and it's all going a bit south for Bart Horst, and at the moment he knows where he needs to finish and what he needs to do to keep his championship aspirations alive, and regrettably it seems to be going the wrong way for Bart. Such a likeable young man and a real driving talent as well.
Yeah, Bart's already lost the place on this lap to Max Rosam, who of course is third in the championship with the number 5 car. So Max is up to 4th place now and harassing Dinesen. There go the bollards, Dave.
Yes, absolute, total 100% commitment from all of our M2 Cup drivers that we're enjoying here, and you can see the cars slipping and sliding around more than ordinarily you would see, and the reason for that is they started the race on those wet weather tyres on a track that is drying out in places. It becomes very, very difficult, and part of the whole driver development package. How do you drive that car on tyres which are not optimised for the track conditions?
Yeah, and it's going to be probably a race of 2 halves as well, because those tyres are going to overheat. So who looks after them, who copes with the car when it starts being very skittish on those tyres. Denny Berndt is all over Bart Horst at the moment. Denny in the yellow number 8 car. Bart is defending for a couple of corners now, that 5th place. Luca Link having started on the second row of the grid is in that battle as well, but he's dropped back to 7th place now. So Birminghausen leads and is now 1.7 seconds clear of Leighton Fury.
Oh, just take a look at the inside there. I mean, just a little love tap there, wasn't there? Say, just a kiss to say, look, I am here, like he needed any reminding of that. Absolute extraordinary commitment that we are seeing. And I have to say, hats off to Denny Berndt. We are seeing some brilliant driving here. Bart Horsten having to really stick his elbows out now, because if Denny's front end was welded to Bart's back end, they could not be any closer. It's like one car.
Yeah, so Julius Dinesen losing 2 places in 2 corners there. Bart Horsten first, Denny Berndt next. He's trying to get them both back, or at least Denny Berndt back, but Denny Berndt trying to attack and defend at the same time. He looks at the inside of Bart, and there's contact! And the driver second in the championship sent out wide. Berndt goes through, Dinesen goes through, out wide goes Bart Horsten with a bit of paintwork damage and bits of bodywork, minus his car now.
Yes, it's half a kilo lighter than it was due to various bits having been flung off that car. Quite physical between them, but forgive me, rubbing is racing, and we like to see that. Not necessarily always the quickest way around the track, but great for our entertainment. Just nearly 3 seconds to the good now, Birminghausen, ahead of Leighton Fury. The incident between cars number 19 and 23 in turn number 9 is under investigation. We will see what race control make of that following their investigation. So to turn number 3 right now, really steep and climb uphill. And the cars go all through now with somewhat less physical activity than we have seen previously. Look at this in replay. And this was where various door mirrors and other parts of panels went flying.
Yeah, it's a pretty full-on move, that, from Denny. Committed move, wasn't it? He was the quietest, most under-spoken character you could meet in the pit lane. He's so calm and relaxed and super friendly, but put a race helmet on and they all get demons, don't they? It's great battling going out there between these youngsters.
Yes. Various parts of the track infrastructure are going to need to be replaced at the end of this race, but God, bring it on. Bring it on. We love it. Okay, so as they continue to fight, you can see here that absolutely remaining just as committed is Bart Horston. And Bart Horston now the wrong way around, because he's found his way back past Denny Burnt somehow. And Denny Burnt is really pushing Bart Horston. I mean, those two have had such a ding-dong battle and a really, really interesting battle. I just have a feeling that this is going to rage right until the end of the race, potentially, Chris.
Yeah, it's none of this ideal, though, is it, for
no.
his championship hopes? You got Max Rosam right on the tail of Leighton Fury for second place as well. This is really going to help out Colin Berninghausen as he looks for his first win. So Berninghausen through turn 1, nose to tail the battle for second. But even if Rosam gets second place from Fury, Fury is still on course for the championship title. As way out wide goes Julius Denison, almost into the barriers.
He actually was able to carry lots and lots of momentum through that really rather unorthodox move. But these three, they're going to get a prize from us for providing such entertainment. As diving up to turn number 3 now, it's almost close your eyes because you don't know who's going to come out in front of him.
Yeah, and I reckon Rosam's got second place. Yes, he has. Right. Yeah, got had a look at the inside. He looked like he controlled it as he went out of the shot, coming out of the corner. I don't think, again, Leighton Fury not fighting too hard. Oh, and Jan Mateus has had a moment. He's going the wrong way, so he's got to spin it back around and get back on track.
Well, whichever way you've looked, I mean, I certainly wouldn't want to be the director of this, as he just makes sure that everything is steering correctly. And for Jan, he can continue. And this is how. Was there a little assist there, Chris? I think there might have been.
Close, wasn't it? Right behind him.
He put him in.
Yeah.
I'm sorry.
That was Robbie McAfee right behind him with the 22 car.
Ta-da, chap, you're going in. I'm sure he didn't say that, Chris, but that's how it looked.
And that was, so close, wasn't it, for Denison?
How did he keep that out of the tyres?
Yeah, that was good. Good recovery, because he looked like he was second favourite to come out of that, didn't he?
Yes.
Couldn't have got much closer.
No. Right, Berninghausen then, he's got unbelievably 3.5 seconds to the good after what has been an extraordinary race, and he is now 3.9 to the good as we get alive across the timing line. A live gap between Berninghausen and Rosam P2. Fury then is P3. Then it is Horston who is P4. Of course, Horston needs to be ahead of Fury, and but even if he was ahead of Fury, it wouldn't be enough, would it, Chris?
No, he's, potentially it could be. 21 points available tomorrow. It depends where they finish. Because he's got more wins. He's got 4 on the trot, actually, Leighton Fury. But yeah, he's got to finish ahead of him. As Denny Burnt now puts Bart Horston back down to 5th place. The good move under braking all the way to turn 3. Slides the back end of the car out. Bart Horston's going to get him back on the exit.
Well, there you go. Just when you think you've done enough, no, you haven't. Keep cool, calm and collected, and that's precisely what Bart Horston did. Realised that he was carrying too much pace. He would never be able to scrub off all that speed. Very sideways moment. Bart said, I'm coming back at you. And that's precisely what he did. So we've got just under 11.5 minutes of this wonderful BMW M2 Cup race to come. And thus far, neither Chris Hartley nor myself have had a moment to take a breath because there is something going on at whichever pack of cars you look at.
So Leighton Fury, the championship leader, on course for 16 points in 3rd place. Bart Horston is 4th. 2 fewer, 14 points. He needs to outscore him. He's not at the moment, and he's dropping back. Max Rosam, 3rd in the championship, 2nd in the race. He's going to get 18 points. So by my maths, as it stands, Leighton Fury is 22 points clear of Bart Horston. There's only 21 points available tomorrow. He's on course for the championship title. I think he knows it as well, which is why he hasn't fought too hard when Berninghausen and Rosam have got alongside him.
Absolutely right. Driving with his head, isn't he? He's realising the bigger picture. But it's still, with 10 3/4 minutes, nothing is over until the rotund lady sings, as they say. Still, having seen what has happened during the course of the race, a lot can happen still. Unfortunately for Bart Horston, he can't get up the road. The reason being his rearview mirror's been full of the yellow peril behind him, Denny Burnt. I mean, poor old Bart, to try and think about attack, give up, Dave. Goodness sake, look what I'm having to defend.
Yeah, absolutely. He was ragging over the curbs there, wasn't he? He knows he's having to brake super late, because if he doesn't, Denny Burt's going to chuck it up the inside, as he's done about 4 times in this race so far. So great battle. There's a little nudge. Come on, hurry up, he says, coming out of the corner.
Absolutely love it.
That's Robbie McAfee. Drive-through penalty, that little nudge we saw.
I'm kind of not surprised by that, if I'm honest with you. That was a proper Wimbledon Stadium move, wasn't it? You're going in, friend. And he did. Right. Here we can see just how close Bart Horston is feeling the attention of the number 8 car of Denny Byrne. Just a little love tap, Chris.
Might be an interesting conversation between these two at the end of the race.
Christmas card lists being edited as we speak. Here then, Bunninghausen from Roseanne before Fury, Horston, then Denny Byrne, the very car that we are watching right now, the Yellow Peril, as I've named it during the course of this race, because he has been an absolute peril to Bart Horston ahead of him. I have to say, Chris, actually, if you look at the gap between P3 and this extraordinary spectacle, which is P4 and P5, it's coming down a little bit. I'm trying to build the anticipation
here.
No,
absolutely. And it's 9 minutes to go, plus 1 lap, and that track evolving and changing and drying, and the tyres getting more and more worn. So, you know, a lot can happen. It's easy to make a mistake here. That incident at turn 3 between Horston and Byrne is being looked at by the steward. It's under investigation.
No, come on.
Add it to the list.
There's quite a bit of homework to be done there, isn't there? Over the sausage curbs they go, like they just don't care. These drivers absolutely giving everything, and it's great to see such talent. Now here is the prediction then, if everything stood the way it does currently. Leighton Fury on 186 points and Bart Horston then on 164. Your calculation's absolutely correct, Mr. Hartley. He would have a margin of 22 points with only 21 available tomorrow.
Yeah, absolutely. So on course for the championship title on his 18th birthday, and what a run it has been for him. He's only had 2 races this year off the podium, and he's had 5 wins, including 4 consecutively. If he'd won this race, 5 on the trot would have been a record of the BMW M2 Cup. Senna Van Sola back in the pits. He did go out for a bit, and he did actually set the fastest lap of the race, so at least he'll get a point for that. But real frustrations for the Dutch driver after a great qualifying yesterday.
Yeah, that's a great shame. Never want to see the cars in the pit lane. You can already see the Claudia Henning car is already there, but that's very, very unfortunate. But testament to how well the team really managed these cars in what has been a very, very, very physical race. Only 2 cars in the pit lane. Meantime, let's catch up and catch in with our race leader then, Bunninghausen, who, since he's got past, has built a margin of some 4 seconds. Meantime, the warring factions continue, although for the moment, I think Bart Horston has been able to show a relatively clean pair of heels to Denny Byrne. Meantime, behind Chris, that's not the case. There's still plenty going on.
No, Robbie McAfee versus Luca Link, that was. McAfee with this penalty that he's got coming. They're at the moment battling just the tail end of the top 10. Luca Link trying to swing out wide to find that damp patch closest to the pit wall. There you can see the definite line that we've got now. Yes. Dry on the right-hand side of your picture, still damp on the left-hand side.
Yeah, so trying to take advantage of half an effort to try and keep those wet weather tyres into a temperature window that they're going to appreciate, because they have been pushed and pushed for the race that we have had so far. So this 3-way fight that is going on currently is P8, 9 and 10 that we're watching, and as they're into turn number 3 for what have we got, 6.5 minutes of the race remaining, it's as we were.
Yeah, a warning for Denny Byrne. They're looking at that incident, that nudge between him and Bart Horston. So they're warning, so they're watching him, but there's no penalty for him. So he's got to be a little bit careful, a bit circumspect, but then he's still battling here with Bart Horston. Bart must be really frustrated by this race. He's spent the entire race battling Denny Byrne for 4th place when he wanted to be catching and passing Leighton Fury.
Thing is, I think that's exactly the right decision from race control. It's sideways around that turn. Black and white flag is exactly the right thing. Look, we're keeping our eye on you, because I think, actually what they have delivered has been just awesome racing. And you can see how the cars now are really, really unsettled, because they're struggling for grip, Chris.
Yeah, absolutely. And just kissing the gravel trap there was Denny Byrne in the number 8 car, the young German driver, still trying to get back ahead of the Australian Bart Horston. By dint of winning the overall championship, Leighton Fury's going to win the rookie championship as well, because there's only the man you're looking at, Bart Horston, that's back from last year. It's almost entirely made up of rookies this year. So Bart, who's fourth in the championship last year, the only non-rookie. Yeah, here comes Denny.
Here he comes. Warwick, where is he going to make this move now on Bart Horston? He's tried everywhere. He's been successful on occasions and then unsuccessful again. So he's really got the measure of him now, I believe, as they make the run up through the kink, which is turn number 2, and then into turn number 3. So stand by. This is for P4 in the race. The battle that's going on between Bart Horston and Denny Burns.
Now, hold on to your hats.
Okay.
Fastest man on the track, Max Rozam in second place. A 1:46.5 last time around, was 7/10 quicker than Colin Berninghouse. He's been doing it for a couple of laps now. The gap was over 4 seconds. It's now 2.7. He's not given up on the race win yet.
Fantastic. Right, wide outside then, and that isn't necessarily the way for Carla around there, up against the car of Kraft, but valiant effort.
Yeah, trying to carry the speed. So Louisa Carla now having to keep an eye on the mirrors with Lucas Seidel, one of the two guest drivers alongside Robert Heffler in the race on her case now. And she got a slow exit. Inside line was covered, so went for the outside line. It would have been a heck of a move, this, but she ran out of grip on the way into the corner and just outbraked herself a little bit.
And I think also there, you know, because you are continuing to climb uphill, you lose momentum as well. I certainly found that on my bicycle.
Absolutely.
Just thought I'd mention
it is
that.
Steep, isn't it? Really steep climb up to turn 3. Much more so than it looks on television, actually. So here's the gap between the top two coming down all the time.
Yes, it is coming down. So we will see. And here we can see the sliding Bart Horston car and the equally sliding all-yellow machine of Denny Byrne. I mean, that was a big one around there. And I was about to say, I think Bart has spent his entire race having to defend that position, but actually I think they're trying to drive so quickly that they might be pushing each other on a bit as well. So Bart Horston P4 seeing his championship aspirations ebb away as we see into the pit lane the car of Robbie McAfee. With that drive-through penalty, Chris.
Yeah, so finally serving that one. That will drop him out of the top 10, put Luca Link back up to 9th. But frustration for Luca after excellent qualifying yesterday, dropping back. He wasn't entirely convinced that he was going to get on the podium when Verena asked him. He knew it was going to be a tough fight. So it has proven to be.
And here, if you needed reminding, is a replay of the incident which caused the drive-through penalty. I mean, that was a proper arm spinning, new friend. And we were talking of Christmas card list earlier on, and I think he's definitely not on that one. Now look at this. Was the slide I was describing, Chris. We saw it from a different camera angle. It's even more dramatic now, and that is Terry Grant's stunt driver at his best.
Yes, they need somebody else for the next Fast and the Furious film, number 15 or whatever it is. There's your man, Denny Byrne. He can go sideways as well as anyone.
Yes, brilliant stuff. And we're, oh my goodness, where's the race gone? We've got 2 minutes and a quarter plus a lap still to come. I've been extraordinarily, and I know it's really difficult for him, but I've been extraordinarily impressed with Bart Horston here. Even though he can see his aspirations slipping away, he has been utterly, utterly relentless, steadfast, and any other adjective you can use to describe his defense mechanism about one of the most, I was going to say, aggressive drivers in Denny Byrne, who has been utterly determined to get by him and has done it on a couple of times and then lost out again. And you can see again the cars are molded together as one, as now Denny goes to the inside. Bart on the outside. I reckon that Denny, if he squeezes him now, but Bart will have more momentum, and sure enough he's able to close the door. So Denny Byrne, fair play. Wherever he can, he has tried, and Bart has had the answer to it.
And Max Rozam has taken another half a second out of Colin Berninghouse, but time is running out. The gap's down to 1.8 seconds last time through. Look at this, and there's a nudge. Around goes Bart Horston. That is title hopes completely gone now. Sent into a spin, and remember, Denny Byrne was already on a warning.
Yes, I really rather think that will be a slam dunk for Denny, and as you say, Chris, that is utter slam dunk for Bart Horston. Any slim hopes he had for the championship have now gone away in a 360 like that.
I think Denny just clipped that inside curb, which kind of sent him into it. Let's have a look. Just here.
Yes,
yeah,
it
just clips the curb. So I don't think it was intentional, but unfortunately the end result is that Bart Horston has been spun around.
And well done to our team, look. And you're right, the just clipping that curb unsettled the front end of the car, didn't it? And, you know, when you're driving with the absolute commitment you are, anything like that, any little touch on an already accelerating car is just going to be enough, isn't it? And that's sure enough what happened.
I think Colin Berninghausen has responded. It wasn't a great second sector for Max Rosam. He lost 4/10 to the race leader, so that might be enough now. The clock down to 0 when they come through, and then plus 1 lap at the end of what's a short and 27-minute race. So they did just snuck through before the clock ran out. So it will be this lap plus 1 more, 2 to go.
2 to go. Can we take much more of it? And, well, there's kind of no surprise, and you'll see it on the screen in a moment here, that Denny Burnt will pick up a drive-through penalty for pushing another car. And that's, you know, certainly wasn't malicious, as Chris has indicated. We just, you know, he ran across the curb. That just unsettled the front of the car, made contact with the back of Bart Holston, sent him around. But there we are. That is, and I rather think that probably it'll be a time penalty if he doesn't take the drive-through. Well, he will have enough time to do that. So if everything stays the way it is now, and don't necessarily count your horses yet, 186 points for Leighton Fury, and Bart Holston on 160. That will be 26 points behind, and that's done for him, hasn't it?
Yeah, and also, look, Bart Holston's only just ahead of Max Rosam for second. Having been up there fighting for the championship all the way through the season, Max Rosam might, you know, be looking at nicking second place away from Bart tomorrow. Oh, that's Julius Denise going a bit deep into the corner, wasn't it? Has he survived? He was running in 5th place. Denny Burnt, of course, will go through the pit lane, so that'll become 4th. Robert Heffler going pretty well behind him in the top 6 as well.
So Leighton Fury then. And again, part of the whole driver development of these young talents in the BMW M2 Cup, he's just kept his cool, Chris, and done what he has needed to do. Not stressed, not pushed too hard, when ordinarily perhaps he would do that, thinking about the bigger picture and the points haul.
Yeah, almost feels like that was, as you said, a big 3 points getting pole position yesterday. That took him just that step closer to the championship and gave him some more options today. 1 more lap to go then, 4.6 kilometres for Leighton Fury to become the 2023 BMW M2 Cup champion.
So here, though, is our race leader, Colin Berninghausen then, P1, Max Rosam running P2, and the gap between them when they crossed the timing line was some 1.667 seconds. So Berninghausen with enough of a margin over Max Rosam, and Leighton Fury then just running quietly on his own in P3. Denny Burnt is showing us P4, but of course he does have a drive-through penalty to take, and as I suspected, he probably won't take that during the race. Therefore, it will be a time penalty that will be added to his race time and will significantly drop him down the order. So Berninghausen then has had... Oh, I was going to say there's not much going on now. How dare I say that, Chris? Because right in the middle there is the number 13 car of Kraft, but of course, and that is Bart Holston trying to claw his way back up as far as he can, having been turned around. And this is the thing, whilst accepting that Denny Burnt has picked up a drive-through penalty, and he does get penalised for what he did, it kind of doesn't help Bart, does it?
No, Julius Denise at the head of this battle, trying to fend them off. Bart Holston, Robert Heffler just behind. This is, once Burnt gets that penalty, effectively going to be the battle for 4th place. 4 of them together on this final lap of the race.
Absolutely amazing. It's been second by second action as heading towards the final turn then on this relatively short Spielberg circuit. Here comes Colin Berninghausen then heading towards the checkered flag, which is waved atop his car. Max Rosam is going to take P2, and then to take the championship by taking P3. Here comes Leighton Fury. That cool, calm, collected head has paid off for him as he takes P3 and indeed becomes the BMW M2 Cup champion for 2023. Bear in mind, still a race to come tomorrow, but if we needed a fairly exciting, or very, very exciting showdown when it comes to the championship, we've certainly had it today, Chris.
There's tears down in the pit lane. Friends, family, supporters of Leighton Fury. Well, he's won championships in South Africa, the VW Polo Cup, which of course the Van der Linde's now very successful DTM drivers won in the past. He won the Global Super Touring Cars Championship in South Africa last year. He came to the BMW M2 Cup for one weekend at the end of last year and already got on the podium at Hockenheim. And he's been a worthy champion. Excellent effort from him. And well done, Colin Berninghausen, race winner for the first time this season in the championship.
Yes, a very good job done. Here's confirmation of the classification. Berninghausen then taking the win ahead of Max Rosam and Leighton Furry with P3, enough to seal the championship. Bart Horston, P4, Julius Dennison, P5, then Adrian Richechny, P6, Robert Heffler, P7, and Luca Link then P8. And what a good starting position Luca had. Carmen Kraft, P9, Luisa Carla, P10, then it was Jan Mathias and Lucas Seidel, Robbie McAfee, Denny Burnt after the time penalty, and then of course we lost Senna Van Solen, Claudia Henning during the early stages of this BMW M2 Cup, race 1 of 2 this weekend, but the championship has been sealed. Of course, the big championship celebrations, Chris, will not come until after the final race.
That's it. We'll have a champions podium at the end of tomorrow's race and the rookie champion, but it's going to be the same bloke, this man, Leighton Furry, on his 18th birthday. What a way to celebrate. The championship title is his. Colin Berninghausen will be top of the moon as well. That move, that decisive move, as it proved to be up at turn 3 to get the win. Max Rosam, a great drive from 9th to 2nd.
Yes.
And he's still on course for, you know, maybe not winning the championship, but he can fight Bart Horston for 2nd in the championship now, yeah.
So the cars come in then, there's going to be lots of emotions and lots of celebration, and the cars line up correctly there, and, well, we have seen a terrific BMW M2 Cup race won here at in Austria. They've entertained us all season long, that's for sure, these young talents who are very much part of the development program, and Colin is going to be out of the car and be very happy. Big fella, you know, as you can see now. It'll be the first time we see him, and
that's lovely, isn't it? Rivals on track, friends off track.
And, you know, going to congratulate this man, the champion, Leighton Furry. Go on top of the car, steady on though, it'll be a bit damp, friend.
I think he's pleased.
Yes, I think there could be a movie career for you as well there with stances like that. Next superhero, Chris.
Great effort.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't think anybody can deny him. He's been superb, especially the second half of the season.
Oh, the emotion. Oh, bless. And there, the family to congratulate. And there actually is the architect or one of the architects of the BMW M2 Cup, along with Jürgen Michaelis. There is Hans Bernd-Kamp, who, of course, is Hans Bernd-Kamp's very much driving these young talents. And look at that. Isn't that really nice to see? But what is really nice is also the camaraderie there is in the paddock. Of course, once the crash helmet goes on, as we have seen, you get pretty decisive physical racing. But actually, there's a great atmosphere. And here's confirmation of how the drivers' classification finish after this race. 186 points means that Bart Horston cannot get him. Max Rosam, though, as you have said, Chris, is just 5.5 points behind Bart Horston in or chasing for P2 in the championship.
Yeah, he got 18 points and Bart got 14, so that scored him by 4. That's going to be really tight as well. So that's still a battle to be had. There's Christine Curling there on the left of the picture, who looks after the drivers in terms of all the media as well, and also gets them to the podium, which is not the work of a moment.
Does a darn good job, doesn't she? Okay, so we can see the emotions on the face then of the new champion. Of course, there is the race podium to come, and in and amongst all the action down there is Verena.
And I've got the birthday boy and the new champion of the BMW M2 Cup, and this smile is just huge, so congratulations. How excited are you?
I mean, we couldn't get a better birthday gift, I must say. The car, I had troubles with them already on the warm-up lap. I felt like I lost a lot of power. So I knew it was going to be a tricky race. I had to try to keep everyone behind me as long as I could. I knew I didn't have the pace. Once Colin got past, I knew that he was gone. And once Max got past, I knew the gap was to Bart. So I knew what I had to manage. But through the stress of Oschersleben and the terrible start we had to this championship, to win it here it's incredible, and it's a childhood dream of mine. So I was so happy. So
glad to hear that. Congratulations. What a phenomenal job and a perfect birthday present. And now he's 18 and he can officially drive. So back to you guys.
Thank you so much. It was very nice to see, just in the back of the shot, I don't know whether you picked it up, and Maxime Oostum was there as well, Chris, who, of course, you know, he is just a classic example of how this program works so well, and he is being developed as we speak. I mean, he's about 8 foot tall. You can't miss him, can you? But you know, he was there to congratulate the family as well. You can just see him to the right-hand side of your picture there, talking to Hans-Bernd Camps.
Yeah, winner of the one race that we had finished here last year, and of course going on to win the championship title. Racing in GT4 this year, racing in GT Masters this weekend as well.
Wow!
So he's on the pyramid, on the way up. And we're going to see quite a few of the names in this championship with big futures as well. Leighton Fury definitely there. Is this year's very tall driver is Max Rozam there to the left of your picture. And the race winner, Colin Berlinghausen.
Well, the shortened version of the anthem to play out so that we can crack on with this podium for the BMW M2 Cup, the first of 2 races this weekend, but the championship has been done and dusted. And there you can see trophies being presented. I'm just going to throw that piece of paper away, which said who's doing the trophy presentations. That was Christine Curling then making the trophy presentation to Leighton Fury for P3. And Hans-Bernd Camps then from Project One, the company that runs this BMW M2 Cup, then making the trophy presentation to Max Rozam. You and I have been here probably 100 times, Chris, and it's always great to see us. You see now Björn Bellman making the trophy presentation to our race winner, Colin Berlinghausen. The trophies, I was going on to say, always immaculate here, aren't they?
Yeah, absolutely. And what they do as well, they'll have a rookie podium back in the paddock afterwards. And also they present the mechanics with these race tyre trophies as well. So the mechanics stick with each race car. The drivers swap cars, get to work with different mechanics across the course of the year. There's George McAllis, the man that runs the championship. And they get these Born Original trainers as well, the top 3, gold, silver and bronze. And Leighton Fury's got a few pairs of those now. Yes. Quite a few pairs.
I have a bid for one of those pairs. That's Jörg McAllis who's making those presentations. They are, I mean, well, need a wheelbarrow really to carry off all the silverware that they get at the end of a race. So well done to all our drivers. Of course, well done to Leighton Fury. He's done enough to seal the championship, but well done to the top 3 and to the rest of the pack as well, because you delivered an awesome race for us, and it was really, really enjoyable. And all our trophy presenters move in then to be part of the photograph of what was a stunning race 1. And great photograph done and dusted. Who's going to win the race to get the bubbly uncorked then? Well, first of all, the truck will arrive to take away all the trophies. And, oh, well, it was Max Rozam, if I'm not mistaken, Chris.
Yeah, he's the winner, but Colin Berlinghausen, the race winner, Leighton Fury, the champion. A race to go tomorrow. It's been a great race, Dave.
It has been a great race, and we'll see you for race 2 tomorrow. From Chris and myself, thank you so much for watching. Goodbye for now.